Hi guys, gals, and non-binary pals, it is 𝗍𝗶𝗁 here. Today, I have started a small show kind of thing called the Video Diaries, which is what you are about to watch. There are 8 episodes in the show, and I would like to preface by saying everything in the show is fictional and is purely for entertainment purposes, and entertainment purposes only. I hope you guys enjoy it and have fun watching.
Missing someone with all your missing someone.
Should I be starting these with like Dear Diary? Dear Diary, another crappy day in the life of Rachel Roberts. Another crappy time of existence for Rachel Roberts. It's not the best, to say the least, but hey, I'm alive, which is more than Matt is. That was horrible. Oh my god. Am I allowed to say that legally? I don't think so. Ever since Matt has died, I've felt really lonely. Clearly, I mention that every time I put this stupid camera in front of me. That feeling has yet to cease, and I don't know if that's the reason why I've been thinking about someone I haven't thought about in a long time so much, or if it's just something else. Maybe the fact that I'm supposed to think about her. I mentioned in a recording before that I've only ever had 1 or 2 really good friends throughout my entire life. That's true. Before Matt, I was friends with this girl. Her name was Daisy. We were best friends, but also we were in elementary. How close can 2 elementary schoolers be? Far. We grew apart in middle school. It was a slow start at first, but Daisy made a lot of friends and I just didn't. That's okay, I guess. We never really like reconnected after that. We haven't talked at all in high school. But just like everyone else, she's been staring at me. She's probably heard my name more in the last few months than she's heard it in the rest of our high school career, so that's interesting. But out of all the stares I get, she is the most relentless about it. Usually when I look back at people, they break eye contact, or they whisper, or they make a face. But she just stares at me like she wants to talk to me, like she has something to say. I think I miss her. Which sounds stupid and kind of pointless, but I do think I miss her. She was once my Matt, the person that I always depended on. I told her everything. I don't know what happened. Like, I knew we were drifting, and I had accepted the fact that we were drifting apart. And I haven't even wanted to reconnect up until this moment. But I want to now more than ever. And she's been acting so weird. Like, so weird. Every time I look up, she's there. I haven't seen her that much. She's just alive and walking around happy, chipper. perfect little Daisy with her perfect little friends and her perfect little life and her perfect family and her perfect brother. I hate how jealous I became of her. That's why we're really not friends, because Daisy was perfect and I wasn't perfect. She had guys liking her all the time. She had people who wanted to be her friends all the time, and I was more interested in a piece of technology. But I wish that people liked me or thought I was pretty or wanted to desperately be my friend. I've never had that experience, and I don't think I ever will. So I envy her because she lives that experience every day of her life. For free. Pure existence. And it makes me so mad. Everything makes me mad. Except for my sister. She hasn't been doing good. I went into her room the other morning just to see how she was. She hasn't been home much, even still. She's not doing too good. She was crying. I think it's because mom and dad started fighting a lot. She said that dad had gotten really quiet with her too, which I don't know if that made me feel better or feel worse. To know he hadn't been talking to either of us. And she said she was upset. She was upset that I was unhappy. She was upset that Matt was dead. She was sobbing. I haven't seen Kaylin cry that much. Not for a long time anyways. But she always kept to herself. She was just a really good role model and would lock herself in her room, so she probably cried during those times. I never thought to go in there. I just opened the door the other morning and she looked up and she wasn't mad. She just asked me to shut the door. But I knew that if the roles were reversed and she walked in here for me crying, I would have told her to get out. She was explaining to me about how much she hated being at the house, how much she hated the tension at the house. That's why she hasn't been home. I said I understood because I do. I tried to leave too. She pulled out a picture. It was a framed one. The glass was broken. It was us. Me, her, mom, dad. When we were younger. She said when I was asleep, mom had thrown it across the living room and it hit the wall and broke. Their fights are so bad. Mom and dad never fought, ever. I don't have any memories of them fighting before these last few days. But it's horrible because the fight starts and it just goes and goes and goes. I don't even know what they're fighting about. They're just giving each other petty insults. It's like a war at all times. And it never stops. I hope it stops soon. I hope any ounce of normal can come back to my life. I don't think it ever will. Speaking of the unnormal, I have a new cluster of notes. So we're gonna get into these. You and me, Mr. Camera, together. There's a lot that I want to talk about. Have you ever fallen in love? At this point, I think the notes are trying to mock me. RR plus, and then it's just torn. So I don't know if that has to go with the love thing, because these are my initials, or... Next one. Do you ever feel lonely? And more. They don't stop here. It just keeps going. Alex won't stay around forever. I don't know if that's a threat. Like, I genuinely can't tell if this person is, like, threatening me or just mocking me or what they're doing. But I don't think I'd like the notes anymore. I believe in your innocence. Heart. And the final note. Maybe you should look closer to home. I still have this weird sneaking suspicion that it's Ella, and I don't know if that's because I just dislike Ella, or if I'm overreacting, or if I'm overthinking, but this feels like someone who is trying to mess with my head and get inside of my brain and break it, and then trying to, like, console me by, I believe in your innocence. What does that mean? You believe in my innocence. Cool, so do I. Like, anyone with common sense would know that I wouldn't do it. But, not my school. My school doesn't have common sense. Very clearly, if you've ever seen half of the things that happen. I don't know what to do. I'm just uneasy about it all. The police haven't told me anything other than the fact that they thought I was an accomplice. I haven't talked to the deputy again since. My therapist is like an unhelpful Yoda, so that's really cool. She just gives me stupid advice, and her advice rarely works. The best advice she's ever given me was to, like, start recording these. I think that's just because I feel more comfortable with a camera than I do with other people. Maybe it has to do with my lack of connection to other people. I really hope Alex doesn't get hurt. I think I'm gonna tell him about the notes. Yeah. He could think I'm crazy, but I don't want to tell my therapist because she could tell my mom, and I don't want to tell my mom because my mom's kind of a raging ball of emotions, and it's like walking on eggshells around her. Everything makes her mad. I don't want to talk to her. And my dad probably would just stare at me in the face if I talked about it. Kaylin, I don't know what she'd do. She couldn't do anything about it. She couldn't even begin to understand it, maybe. But Alex, he was mentioned in them. He deserves to know. And maybe he could help, because it could just be an overthinking thing. And I think I need a person right now to tell me if I'm overthinking or not, because I've just been talking to the stupid camera and the camera doesn't talk back, and talking isn't doing enough. I need someone to talk to me, and I need feedback. I wish Matt were here. He would know what was going on. He would be like, Rachel, you're overthinking it. It's clearly this person. And think of like this totally correct idea that I didn't even like jump to. He would know. He would know. What if it's a teacher? Imagine if it was a teacher. I doubt that though. My brain has been so distracted from schoolwork. I can kind of do it here, but it's hard, even at home. I can't focus on anything the teachers say. I don't know why a teacher would give me another distraction. I think that's the last thing they want. But then again, who would want to distract me? That's how I should think of it. You know who'd want to distract me? Ella. You know who knew Matt? Ella. You know who Matt would have told where he was going that night he died? Ella. All she would have had to do was ask. Look closer to home. And what is that even supposed to mean? Look closer to home. What? Is that what he said? No. Maybe you should look close to home. Maybe you should screw off and leave me alone. I really liked getting the notes at first. I felt like less alone, I guess. It kind of felt like Matt was still here in a weird way, but I think I've come to the realization that he is gone. Not that I didn't know it before, I was just still processing it. But I fully processed it now, and I know for a fact that this isn't someone trying to live through Matt. This is a murder, and someone is straight up mocking the fact that he died. Maybe I'm overthinking it and they're trying to help me. I don't know. I don't see how this could be helpful though. Have you ever fallen in love? RR plus. And then they mention Alex. Do they know that I like him? But then I also feel like they're threatening Alex. Alex won't stay around forever. I have to tell him. I think I'm gonna meet up with him. That is exactly what I will do. I have to meet up with him. There is no other way. I'm texting him right now. Perfect. He's gonna meet with me at the diner in an hour. This is crazy. He could think I'm crazy. But what if it is Ella? Or what if he knows something from someone else that I don't? Matt would say it. 2 minds is better than 1. And that is true. Because when I'm stuck with my own thoughts, I can't get out of how I think. Alex doesn't think like I think because Alex isn't me and I'm not Alex. This is crazy. This is crazy. This feels like mocking. I believe in your innocence. Like, that note made me think for a second. Is Alex leaving me this? Because Alex said the same thing. He trusts the fact that I am innocent. But this this is a clear, it looks like a clear threat. Alex won't stay around forever. What does that mean? What does that mean? What does it mean? What does it mean? What does it mean? I genuinely don't know. And I think at this point, it is going to do me more good than harm to figure out what is going on. I need to get to the bottom of this now, and I need to stop just looking for clues within myself. I need someone else to look for clues with me, and that person has to be Alex. It just has to.